Oh, you ready? Oh, you ready? All right. Well, good morning. Today I will be providing an update on our integration of the divisions of fire and EMS and announce some personnel changes in the Department of Public Safety. But first, let me remind you that as the City of Cleveland, our responsibility is to provide the best public safety service so that we can have the best and most positive outcome on the lives of the people who live in our neighborhoods and everyone who comes to visit and work in the City of Cleveland. Our bottom line is service, not profit. So as we make these decisions, we make it based on that our obligation and our duty is to provide service to all those who either live, work, play, or do business in the City of Cleveland. In April of 2010, I announced that I had accepted the recommendation from Chief Stubbs of Fire and Commissioner Eckert of EMS to consolidate or to integrate the divisions of EMS and fire into one operational unit. The goal is to improve and to better coordinate services that we deliver to our communities and capitalize on the strength of both fire and EMS personnel. Now, we've been working on this integration since then, and we made some significant progress, and our goal is to have it completed and have full integration by the end of next year, 2012. Right now, however, we need to take one step at a time. So today I will be appointing Commissioner Eckert to Assistant Director of Public Safety. His primary responsibility is to lead the integration of the Division of Fire and EMS into one organization that will result in better fire, rescue, emergency, and medical services to the communities of Cleveland. As Commissioner, he has consistently demonstrated an ability to improve service delivery in the community through a management style that embraces the philosophy of accountability, quality assurance, and performance improvement, and has an open and direct communication style with all of his labor leaders, the unions that he has to negotiate with. Nicole Carlton will become acting Commissioner of EMS during the integration process. Ms. Carlton has demonstrated a strong leadership ability, a focus on quality assurance and improvement EMS service delivery during her tenure as Deputy Commissioner. And finally, I'm announcing that Fire Chief Stubbs has informed me that he is going to retire and that Chief Stubbs has over 34 years of service with the City of Cleveland, and he has always put the people and their well-being and their safety ahead of all the things that he has done and all the decisions that he has made. And while he's not leaving until April of next year, I want to take this opportunity to thank him for his service and also tell you how much I appreciate his openness and candor in his representation of the fire division and his willingness to move ahead with this integration. So I want to tell you how much I appreciate you. Now, these changes are important as we move forward with integration, and here are some of the details of the integration. The newly created division will be led by a Chief of Fire, Rescue, and Emergency Medical Service, a position that will replace the current Fire Chief position. The new chief will have the responsibility of not only managing traditional fire service, but also EMS personnel and functions. The new chief must possess strong management and leadership skills, fire, rescue, and EMS experience, and be capable of successfully creating a culture that embraces the positive attributes of both fire and EMS personnel and their organization. Traditionally, the appointment of the Chief of Fire has come from the ranks of Assistant Chief. We will broaden the field of applicants beyond the rank of assistant chief to include battalion chiefs. This will require changes in the civil service classification and minimum requirements. Assistant Director Eckert will assure that these changes are made, as well as ensuring that all classifications in the new divisions are updated as necessary. Assistant Director Eckert will also be responsible for working with our attorneys on all the labor negotiation necessary to make this happen, increase race and gender diversity throughout the new division that will be created, establish a comprehensive management training program that stresses leadership and accountability, and increase accountability through a standardization of quality assurance and performance improvement programs, those two programs. One of the first tasks that will be to centralize fire and EMS payroll and timekeeping. By first focusing on these functions, Mr. Eckert will be doing two things. He will address some deficiencies and concerns that we have identified in the preliminary results of an audit being conducted by the city's internal audit staff, and this preliminary audit will be completed soon, and it will create a solid foundation to move forward with a successful integration. Now, these are the nuts and bolts of what we will be doing. Of course, it's a broad overview and is much more complicated and much more work than what I'm announcing, but Assistant Director Eckert will ensure the success of this integration. Again, we are taking these steps to ensure that, that we have the ability to provide the best fire and medical service to the people of the city of Cleveland. And I believe that the appointment of Commissioner Eckert to Assistant Director of Public Safety will help to do that, along with some of the things that I've mentioned so far. So first, I'll swear in Commissioner Eckert to be Assistant Director of Public Safety. He began his career as an EMT in 1981. He rose through the ranks of EMS, where he held the position of paramedic, a supervisor, administrative supervisor, and chief of operations before being named commissioner at EMS in 2000. Previously, he served as executive assistant to the Director of Public Safety for the Division of EMS and Fire Operations, where his work resulted in leadership changes, improved accountability, and employee discipline. Additionally, he served as the Deputy Commissioner for Operations at Cleveland Public Power, where he was instrumental in resolving long-standing labor disputes and emergency responses to electrical outages at Cleveland Public Power. Commissioner Eckert retired in October this year, and I asked him to come back to assume this position and take on the responsibilities that I just mentioned to you in previously. So are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. All right, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Edward J. Eckhart
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United
the
States,
Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of
and
Ohio,
the Charter and ordinances of the City of Cleveland.
the Charter and ordinances of the City of
And
Cleveland,
I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties of
discharge the duties of
Assistant Director of Public Safety
Assistant Director of Public
to
Safety
the City of Cleveland
to the City of Cleveland
during my continuance.
during my continuance
said office.
in said office.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. I'm truly humbled and honored that the mayor has asked me to come back and lead this, this task. To be able to have an opportunity at this point in my career to make such a substantive change to the delivery of fire, rescue, and emergency medical service in the city of Cleveland is truly an honor. I think us in the city of Cleveland at this time have a very unique opportunity here to really structure this new division to meet the demands of 2011 and further. If you look at the history of fire and EMS service across the country, much of the service levels and how the fire and EMS services deliver their products today have really kind of morphed over the years. EMS is a relatively young service compared to police and fire, and it being brought in as kind of an add-on, so to speak, in the mid to late 70s really didn't allow for what I believe is the appropriate structuring and the appropriate management perspective to be put in place to deliver the service that I believe our citizens deserve today. So I really think that the city of Cleveland is uniquely positioned to be able to provide a new level of service to the citizens of Cleveland and to meet the challenges of 2011 and further. And I am certainly looking forward to working with the fire leadership, the EMS leadership, as well as the labor leadership to work together to collaboratively and cooperatively move this new division forward. And at some point, everybody in the country will be looking to this new division of fire, rescue, and emergency medical service as the state of the art. Cleveland will become the destination for other cities to find out how to provide fire, rescue, and emergency medical service. Mayor, again, I want to thank you for entrusting me with this responsibility. I want to thank my staff from EMS for your long support. I want to wish Deputy Commissioner, soon-to-be Commissioner Carlton, the best of luck. And I just want to thank my wife, Mary, and our son, Kevin, that are here with me this morning, because certainly without my family's support, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. Thank you.
Next, we'll have swearing in Nicole Carlton as Acting Commissioner of EMS. Ms. Carlton started her career with the City of Cleveland in July of '93 as an emergency medical technician. She quickly made the transition to the communications section and ascended to the position of shift crew chief in March of '95. Ms. Carlton was then promoted to the position of Quality Assurance Coordinator for the Communications Section. When the Communications Section was civilianized in '95, Ms. Carlton led the training program for the new civilian emergency medical dispatchers. In January of '03, Ms. Carlton finished first in her class in a paramedic training program and was promoted to the position of captain, which is a field supervisor. Ms. Carlton became the first female deputy commissioner in the history of the Division of EMS in February of '04. Okay, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Nicole Carlton,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Charter and ordinances of the City of Cleveland,
the Charter and ordinances of the City of Cleveland,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties of
discharge the duties of
Acting Commissioner of the Division of EMS
Acting Commissioner of the Division of EMS
to the City of Cleveland
to the City of Cleveland
during my continuance
during my continuance
in said office.
in said office.
Congratulations.
Good morning, everybody. I would like to thank Mayor Jackson for this opportunity to lead the outstanding and dedicated men and women of the Division of EMS. And I look forward to working with the fire leadership, the new Assistant Safety Director on the integration as we go forward. I want to thank my staff. Most of them are here today who have gotten me to this point. Thank you. And my family, my children, Victoria and Joshua, are here with me as well. Thank you, Mayor, again. I am honored and I'm humbled to serve the city. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd certainly like to offer our collective congratulations to the new promotees. Commissioner Eckert is being tasked with the responsibility of creating organizational change And even under the best of circumstances and times, it's not easy to do. With the state-mandated budget cuts and some staffing reductions that we've had, some economic challenges that we've all been confronted with, we know that it takes strong leadership to make this integration successful. And we feel very comfortable and confident that the new assistant director will provide the kind of leadership that we need. You know, the new assistant director has proven time and time again that he has the commitment necessary to institute change. His singular goal has been and continues to be providing the best quality service that we can to the citizens of this community. You know, over the last 20 years, we've debated consolidations, mergers, integration of the division of fire and EMS. We've debated it publicly, privately, in front of council and the media, done a lot of talking. Well, it's time to go to work. The mayor has given us some strong leadership here and some support to make this happen, and a goal of ensuring that this integration takes place by the close of business of 2012. It's time to stop talking about it, and it's time to go to work. So, Assistant Director, Commissioner, let's go.
Thanks, Director.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Thomas Collins. I'm the Medical Director for the Department of Public Safety. And being the Medical Director of Public Safety means I get the joy of being Medical Director for both the Division of Fire and the Division of EMS. It's very evident as a Medical Director to see the talent and compassion, kindness, and care that the men and women of both divisions provide to our citizens in their homes and on the roadways of Cleveland every day. Moving forward with this integration is a very important step as we continue to mature the care that our patients need. What you may not know is that the City of Cleveland Department of Public Safety has a physician advisory board. We've had this board for over 2 decades now. The board oversees the protocols, training, education, quality assurance for both divisions. For more than 2 decades now, these 2 divisions have appeared as one division for us. And so this next step that the Assistant Safety Director, the new Acting Commissioner, and the Chief and future Chief will need to do is just act like the Physician Advisory Board has acted over the last 2 decades and say, this is something that's important for the city's citizens of Cleveland. This is something that, just like the practice of medicine we do in the hospital and doctor's office, we have the same high ethics, the same compassion, and every day we come to work with the mission in mind. So congratulations, Assistant Safety Director. Personally, for me and from the Physician Advisory Board, same Acting Commissioner, congratulations. 2012 would be an exciting time for the City of Cleveland, for the Department of Public Safety. And just like Cleveland is very, very rich in how we deliver health care, it's only natural that we take the next step and make our delivery of pre-hospital, fire, rescue, and emergency medical services world-class as well. Thank you.
Before I ask for questions, I will say that anyone who has had the opportunity to watch EMS and fire do their job at a medical emergency, whether it's an accident or a shooting or someone just being ill, you will never see a better coordinated and choreographed operation. They do a great job as a team. And so it makes sense that if we can pull these 2 divisions together under one leadership of the fire division that has a strong component that will emphasize emergency medical service, our citizens will receive much greater service and a better quality of service than they receive now. So that is the purpose of this. The purpose is to ensure a better quality service to the people, and we always look at being budget neutral, but the primary concern here is how do we provide this service and do it in a way that relieves the stress and the strain on both organizations because they are under tremendous stress now, particularly with the changing of where our emergency rooms are and all these other, they're under tremendous stress, and we want to ensure that they can deliver this service and reduce the stress on the organization and the individuals as they do it, and provide a higher quality service.